Haley Adams, and this is WGEM News Now for the 3 p.m. hour. During a special meeting on Tuesday, Quincy Public School Board members voted to suspend and dismiss 2 tenured Denman teachers. QPS originally began investigating reports made by parents in November 2024 of inappropriate conduct, including birthday spankings. On June 19th, the teachers had their teaching licenses suspended. After the closed session meeting on Tuesday, the board decided to suspend without pay and dismiss Kim Kirby and Jennifer Oedeker. Former Superintendent Todd Petit at the time said the administration made it clear to those involved that the actions were unacceptable, even if meant to be fun and playful. Petit was suspended as superintendent on August 1st. He resigned less than 2 weeks later. Residents are speaking out, seeking protection for tenants. At last night's City Council meeting, they say no action was taken after voters' approval of a non-binding referendum in April 2025. The referendum QRILE called for more regulations for rental properties, in addition to rental registration and inspection program. QRILE supporters claim the city has not done enough to protect renters. They argue there is not enough accountability in the court ordinances to prevent landlords from neglecting their properties and well-being of their renters.
Tenants deserve a safe and habitable homes, while landlords deserve reasonable expectations and the ability to operate within reason.
Some attendees question how adding new laws would help if laws on the books already aren't being enforced to stop bad behavior.
So adding another layer of laws, I don't see how that's going to be effective in helping tenants or helping landlords.
While QRILE was passed by voters, no action on it has yet to be taken. The referendum was non-binding, meaning city officials are not required to act on it. Also, the council approved resolutions for 2 solar properties on South 12th Street and Needers Lane. Initially, the council voted against the resolution by a vote of 7-7, with 1 abstention. However, after realizing that denial meant no ordinance would be drafted to better look at the project, the council reversed course to approve the resolution, but emphasized they would still have to have 3 readings to approve the ordinance. A $400,000 pool renovation project is now underway at the Quincy Croc Center. Tens of thousands of dollars will be used to replace the pool's boiler and water filter. The money will also go to painting the water slide. All of this has been part of a plan about 3 years now. Money from the Joan Croc Endowment Fund will pay for the renovations. The operations director says the 3 to 6 foot pool is on the cusp of coming back to restored and ready for years of use.
It's an investment, so they know that unfortunately it's a small inconvenience to have it closed for this period of time. We try to do it in a time frame that's going to be best suited to where we're having it back open in the cooler season again. But again, it's just going to be here for many years to come for the next generation to come and use the facility as well.
Members are allowed to use the Hannibal YMCA for the time being during this closure. The pool is expected to open back up on Monday, October 19th. Volunteers are providing more help to local veterans, with community members, Americans Legion, VFW, and others supporting their move to a new facility at the Veterans Home. Yesterday, the American Legion helped with totes, and today the VFW will help move furniture. The new facility at the Illinois Veterans Home in Quincy includes an independent and skilled nursing facility totaling near 300 rooms. Participants say moving the veterans is the culmination of years of effort to improve housing. Missouri officials say the state is seeing a growth in apprenticeships, with more careers using that model of skill training. The state's apprenticeship program manager says there's plenty of options within manufacturing and now fields including healthcare, education, and tech. She says people as young as 16 can start training for a career in apprenticeship in the state. They aim to serve 100,000 apprentices across the state by next September. The 988 mental health hotline is getting more support in Illinois. A new law expands access to suicide prevention services. Lawmakers say 988 information should be visible in counties' shelter care homes, daycares, public libraries, and other locations. It also requires the State Board of Education to make age-appropriate suicide prevention curriculum available for school districts and for the DOC to provide support for people leaving prison. As salmonella cases related to jalapeno recalls spread across the U.S., one Missouri nurse practitioner shares what you can do to reduce the risk of foodborne illnesses. It comes as those sicknesses remaining top of mind following a cyclospora outbreak last month. Some experts encourage buying local produce locally and staying on top of recalls, but you should always do your research and be cautious with unsolicited produce or food products. Happening tonight, MoDOT invites the public to discuss high-priority, unfunded transportation needs in Hannibal. The list totals $1.3 billion in yearly unfunded needs. It was created to help guide the development of future projects as more state and federal transportation dollars become available. The public is invited to review the list and provide feedback on the current orders of priorities, along with additional needs. The meeting is at MoDOT's office in Hannibal. It runs from 6 p.m. to 7:30 p.m. That's all for WGEM News Now at this hour. We'll be back tomorrow morning at 10 a.m. with more. In the meantime, you can stay up to date and get to the know at WGEM.com with more on our mobile apps and smart TV apps, and by watching WGEM News at 5, 6, and 10.